Duke right, they motion McCaffrey, backwards pass to McCaffrey, and he's going to throw downfield wide open. Brandon Ayuk! Touchdown! San Francisco! He can run! He can catch!
Getting on fire!
Christian McCaffrey can throw! Schultz to the other, going to throw out left, intercepted! Diamador Lenore!
Whoa,
Dak
what a
Prescott
play!
just threw him the ball on the outcut going left to CeeDee Lamb. Diamador Lenore comes up with the game's first big play. Here's Prescott back, has time, throws out left, intercepted. Ball got tipped up and taken by Fred Warner. Jimmy Ward tipped the ball, and Fred Warner with the INT. They're going to give it to McCaffrey coming left. McCaffrey, touchdown! San Francisco! He has thrown one, he has caught one, he has run one.
Hey,
Breezie, this that 9
Mo's nose, Peachy, it's about that time, everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and Fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorilla, silverback, silver
You know
hawks.
it's busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win, the faithful going hard. It's WayneBreezie, Peachy, Mo's nose, and Fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the 9 is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the 9 is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the 9 is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the 9 is tall. 9 is tall. Nitty gritty, this the 9 is tall.
Yo, what's going on, faithful? The nitty gritty Niners talk crew is back in the building. You already know what time it is. It's Monday night, and we here to celebrate another victory. I got Mo's nose, Peachy B. What's going on, y'all?
What's up, everybody? Just trying to get over this crap.
This crap.
I mean, I don't really know what else to call it at this point.
Crap.
It's just crap.
Yes.
Because there's no fever. There's no, you know what I'm saying? It's just crap. It's just lingering crap that just stays right here. It was in the chest. It's better in the chest, but now it's like way up in here somewhere. So
It's that Philly crap. That's what it is.
right.
But what's crazy is Mrs. Mo's nose been like that for like the past week.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Had to go to the doctor's office twice.
Yeah.
It took her throat out. Like at one point she couldn't really speak, and then today she's still out of it. It's got the nasal congestion. It's something going around. I didn't get it yet, and I hope I don't get it, Lord Jesus. Honey, I love you. I just don't want what you got.
Okay, first of all, it's not COVID. Because I got tested for COVID, and it's not COVID. That's why
she got tested for COVID,
right.
And she got tested for strep, and they both came back
it's
negative.
Yeah, that's why I just call it crap, because it's not the flu, it's not a cold, it's not, it's just crap. It's just a bunch of crap, and it sucks really bad because it's hard to get rid of as well. But no, it's not COVID.
He's stupid. Yeah, it's something, because I've been struggling for the past week.
Yeah.
Since last Friday, still can't get the stuff out of my chest. But listen, went down to Philly, caught the Philly bug, came back, and now we beat the Seahawks. We beat the Philadelphia Eagles, we beat the Seahawks, and we still sick. But it's all good because we're winning. We're in first place. Mose, how you doing, bro? Like, you know what I'm saying? How you feeling?
Health-wise, I'm okay right now.
It sounds like your voice though isn't in full throttle though. Like I feel like there's
no, it's not. It's
okay.
Not. Well, that's because I had my son had a game today, and then he had a AAU tournament this weekend. So I've been to 4 different basketball games of his. So I've been yelling.
Yeah. You just gotta get the text message with the voice and just put it on a speaker and then hit play.
I might have to do that.
And it's gonna be like, yeah, go.
Thank you,
I might
Tori.
have to
I
start doing
appreciate
or else
that.
I'm not gonna have
so
a voice.
much.
Because you know what I'm gonna do as soon as we get off this? I'm not gonna pass go. I'm not gonna collect $200.
He's going to bed.
I'm going to bed. Okay. What happened is I just go to bed. Like I go to bed, wake up 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, up, and then I'm ready to be in bed. So we're gonna get this show popping. We got a lot of stuff we want to get down. I'm glad everybody's doing good. Everybody's looking good. Most
Before we start,
congratulations
are in order to our sister Crystal Peachy B for her Lakers winning the in-season tournament.
Yeah, the first ever. Hold up. Now LeBron can officially retire because he'd be the first player to ever do.
Oh my God, you are such a jerk. You sound like everybody else that I just.
First of all, don't ever say I sound like everybody else. All I said is now he can officially retire because he done got another accomplishment. He's greater than Jordan.
Oh my God. You see where that was like, I knew where that was going. Okay, first of all, MJ
and he ain't douche.
So MJ
you know what, Peachy? You know what? I don't even need you.
No,
I don't even need you to defend it because you are the most lukewarm Laker. 1 minute you want Anthony Davis off the team, and the next minute you are signing his draws.
Because
like, I don't get it.
No.
Yes,
okay, first
you
of all,
picked him up.
Let me talk.
This is why I ain't got no voice.
Let me talk.
I'm gonna let you talk.
Start.
I still do believe. And just like when you criticize our 49er players whenever they don't live up to snuff, then I feel that way about Anthony Davis. Everyone, whether you're a Laker fan or not, knows that you cannot rely on AD all the time. Like my boy Ticket says over on Ticket TV, he is Terry Claw. The only reason why that he did this accomplishment that he did, this defensive masterclass, is because it was worth something. So we'll see what happens now that we're playing regular games. And NBA just passed or is trying to pass an important rule. The next one, which sucks for us, the second one, they may get a free playoff bid. I'm not talking about play in. I'm talking about playoffs. They may secure a playoff spot afterward next year for the next one.
Really?
Yeah. They're thinking about that.
They up in the ante.
They're up in the ante because they want everyone to show up and they want them to play really hard, especially these teams who don't have a shot in hell of making the playoffs. They want them to bring their A game. And then one more thing, and then I'm good. The Lakers did not want to hang that banner. They actually said no because we just hang championship banners. That means something. But the NBA, because they want to make this a spectacle, has made us do it. So now we have to do all this that we didn't want to do.
Mo,
they
can
literally
I get that
said
bullshit
that they did not
going on
want
right
to
now?
hang.
Can I get the
what?
BS? You know why?
This is a typical
If they didn't want to hang the banner, they shouldn't have won the tournament. All right? They should have let Indiana have it because that's all they was going to get anyway. I'm glad the Pacers think that they are something to be reckoned with. Listen, I like Halliburton, but at the end of the season, when it come down to the nitty-gritty, the Pacers going to be right back in French Lick, wherever they belong, Indiana somewhere. I tell you what, though, Peachy, y'all won. I'm giving you your props. I ain't say it was because y'all the Lakers. And all I'm saying is add another thing to LeBron James' legacy. That's all I said. I ain't even crap on him. I ain't do nothing. I said
actually did.
Add another notch to his legacy. That's all I said. But
and I say that MJ's the GOAT. And then you got people that can't decide whether they want to be a Celtics fan or a Laker fan. So people need to decide like what you want to put it on.
Well,
because
I can tell you that right. That ain't me.
It's gonna get bad Christmas Day. Whenever we play each other, you better decide who you
because Peachy know what losing feel like. Because Ohio State can't beat Michigan. I ain't expecting them damn Lakers to be able to beat the Celtics. Listen, it is what it is. And she lucky she a 49er fan. Mose, this is what you... First of all, can we give Mose the round of applause for being the greatest instigator of all time? Like, that was smooth.
I was just trying to big up the Lakers because they won the NC tournament. That's it. I thought we was going to give her the hand clap and move on.
No.
I should have known better.
But Breezie, the Celtics fan, had to start something because he couldn't help it.
All I said was,
you said that he can retire now.
He can retire. The motherfucker, he wasn't
trying, but he wasn't trying to play.
I didn't say he was. I'm just saying he can retire. What else does he need to prove in the NBA? The dude got all the chips. He got all the MVPs. He got all the defensive MBAs. He's still playing at the top level. He got the first. This is the very first in-season tournament of all time. He has it. There's nothing else he need to do. If he win a chip, he win another chip. Oh, okay, cool. He ain't winning another chip, but I'm just saying.
Neither are you, so it don't make a difference.
Okay, Peachy. All right. You just had to get that in there.
That's
you know,
right,
goddamn well, your Lakers ain't better than the Boston Celtics, especially.
That's not true.
Know daggone well that all right, ladies and gentlemen.
Christmas Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, yeah, Christmas
at 5
Day.
o'clock.
Christmas Day, because I ain't even gonna watch it. That's how confident I am. Because I'm gonna be preparing for the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. That's what I'm gonna be preparing for. Hey, guys, thank y'all so much for tuning in to Nitty Gritty, because Mose just decided to just be Mose. Let's talk about this game, because that's what the Niners did. They did exactly what our team, not my team, not your team, not his team, our team.
That we can all agree on, because we're all Niners.
There it is. Whoop, there it is. Our team swept the Seattle Seahawks this season. Once again, back-to-back sweeps. Brock Purdy, Niner. Can somebody tell me the Lakers record, and somebody tell me the Celtics record, and somebody tell me who got the better record? I know Peachy know by heart.
Can you tell me whose conference that each of them plays in?
It doesn't even matter.
Difficulty?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You are who you are. You want to have that conversation, because that's why people get mad. Oh, the 49ers win again, so they ain't playing nobody. You want to have that conversation?
The Celtics are 16 and 5.
16-5.
While the Lakers are 14-9.
Okay, so boom.
Okay. No problem.
Right now, we the better team because the record says we are.
Yeah,
All right, here we go. So, listen, the Niners did exactly what they needed to do. I'm not going to front. Like, I thought that they were hitting a stride. I thought the San Francisco 49ers figured out how to, get into the 40 rhythm. I thought they was entering the 40-40 club. I thought that might be something we can get consistent with throughout the rest of the season, especially the type of teams that we're playing with, the Seahawks and the Cardinals and the Commanders and the Ravens and the Rams. That's what we have left on the schedule. And then they come out and they put up less than 30. They didn't hit the 30 Purdy, but I still felt that this was a dominant game from the San Francisco 49ers just about on all aspects. The offense put up 527 yards. That might be more than they've ever put up all season long, but without the results and points. I want to get your takes on the game. Shout out to you guys because it's Victory Monday. Shout out to everybody out there. Shout out to the Breezy Bunch crew. Make sure you guys hit this like button. Before I get your takes on the game, we're going to go through stuff periodically throughout the show, so I'll make sure I chime in. Let's go ahead and get that first super chat up there from Jax. She says, super chat contribution, just because I love the Nitty Gritty crew. Jack sends us a super chat contribution. Thank you so much, Jax, for your super chat contribution. And we love you. We love you. We love everything that you do. Keep being a fan, and just remember, this is our team. Our team. Our 49ers. Get ready for the comments. Y'all better get ready out there in the comment section of the show. But guys, let's go ahead and talk about this game. Peachy, let me get your take on the game, and then Mose, I'll get your take on the game. Just real quick, man, give me a hot take from what you witnessed on last night.
First of all, I'm glad that you started with that, what you said that, because all I've seen on TV all day was that the score has, like, it was a beatdown. That I have seen on every single one said, don't pay attention to the score. It wasn't close. It was a beatdown. I even had people that said it was a mental beatdown as well. So it wasn't just a physical beatdown. It was a mental beatdown. And that it was never close. You can't pay attention to the score because it's a divisional game and they're always weird and, you know, all these things happen. They were talking about how we have plays during the game, and it's like, now I can't wait till Breezie comes out with his plays so that I can see it on a show I was watching. I can't remember which one because I try to watch them all today. They were talking about how that you could tell that there were certain plays that Kyle was kind of taking his foot off the gas on. And that's, you know, it could have been a lot worse. They said it could have definitely been like, you know, Thanksgiving. It could have been that bad. So that to me was what I took from it is I felt the same way. I mean, it's like the score looked kind of weird. Like I heard everybody saying, you know, the score was just weird, you know, because we watched it and we know like how out of hand that it actually was. So. Yep.
Real good take right there. I agree with you 100%. Mose, what was your take on the game, man? Just overall, what did you see with those eyes of yours?
I think for me, I did see a team that I felt like, as prepared as they were, felt like this wasn't a game. How do I want to phrase it? Because I don't want to say that the game wasn't important to them. I don't think they put the same level of importance, if we can compare. I don't think they put the same level of importance on this game as they did the Eagles game, right? I think this is a team we know we have their number, and when we play how we're supposed to play, you know, we saw how it looked on Thanksgiving, and while they did make adjustments, we made adjustments as well, and we took advantage of what they were trying to take away. For me, I think that's a little bit more important than just flat out blowing them out, because it shows that, like, even when we don't put in 100%, we're so in tune with what we're doing as a collective unit, both on offense and defense, that when we make one or two minor adjustments, it can literally mean ball game for the other team. So I think from that standpoint, we're really clicking on all cylinders, because we don't even have to give 100% effort, and we can make one or two adjustments, and it's still like these teams can't even compete with us.
Yeah, but like that's the thing that stood out, right? Like, so was it effort? Was it execution? What was it? Like, it was something that was a little strange. I think they showed up. So I want to put that out there. I think they showed up. I think they took the game as an importance because it was a divisional game. I just think they were maybe slight unprepared for Drew Lock. And then how do you prepare for Drew Lock? He hasn't played football. So how do you really prepare? And then he's a game time decision on top of that. So how do you prepare for that? And I don't think they thought that Drew Lock, who to me was having a decent game for the Seattle Seahawks, I don't think they were just prepared for it. It was almost like, all right, Pete Carroll, scratch Geno Smith, which if he played, I think the Niners would have torched this team. And then they brought in Kenneth Walker, who had a couple of good early get down going, then the Niners adjusted and they stopped the run. But they were getting punched in the mouth with that little combination of the run, even though they only gave up 70 yards on the ground. I just felt like Drew Lock threw him a curveball, and it took him a little bit of time to adjust. And then on top of that, you had the injury, and like injuries probably play a role on the mental of the players out there, because now you say you trust the next man up, but if there's no continuity with the next man up until they actually make a play to where you can like really fully trust them, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so that's kind of like what I was seeing. So like, shout out to those guys. When players went down, players came in, they stepped up. But for me, it was just they had full control over the game. And whenever Kyle was ready to flip a switch, not a full switch, it wasn't full throttle. Whenever he hit a button, the Niners were able to answer and just be like, yeah, we can go ahead and score. I thought from the very, kickoff of the game, when we went down there and scored on 2 run plays for 75 yards, I'm saying to myself, wait a minute, this is how we starting this game? Oh, this is going to be a run game. We running this well, this early? Cool beans. And then adjustments started happening, and then the 49ers kind of looked stagnant for a couple of drives. And so, but like, overall, I think you guys are right? And they played a game in which they dominated, and they just had to continue to show ways that they could dominate through adversity. They, and show that, that they can still find a way to win stuff at home. Would you guys consider this kind of like somewhat of a gritty game? A gritty win?
Not really.
I wouldn't.
They still haven't played one yet, right? Like they haven't been able to get one of those grit wins. And how alarming is that to you guys, though? Like, they couldn't win gritty in Cleveland, and I know that's in the past, but they didn't win that. I don't feel like the Minnesota game was a gritty game, but it kind of came down to a couple of mistakes. They couldn't win that. And then Cincinnati, before it kind of got blown out of proportion, they couldn't find a way to get over the hump to take the lead. I feel like if the Niners can take a lead in the game, that's when they flip the button. But it's when they're coming from behind, which they did trail by 3 in this game. Like, when they're coming from behind and things don't go right, it's just harder to get over that hump. Let's talk about, before we go ahead and recap the game, because I definitely want to recap the game and get your takes on it. Let's go on some of the things that happened. We got the injury report here. You got arm breaks with knee tendonitis, who left the game. They said he came back in the game. I don't remember him coming back in the game, but he is going to be out for at least 2 weeks. And so Orrin Burks is going to be out. Javon Hargrave with the hamstring injury, who left the game, I think at half, and Mooney Ward, who went out in the first quarter with the groin injury. Surprisingly, per Kyle Shanahan, they're listed day to day, and that their injuries aren't severe, and that they possibly may play against the Arizona Cardinals. So let's talk about these injuries. Let's talk about who needs to step up and who's going to fill in for who, or what. So let's start with Orrin Burks. Mose, you take Orrin Burks, and then Peachy, you can take Hargrave. I'll go ahead with Ward.
Listen, with Orrin Burks, I think the health of Fred Warner and Dre Greenlaw are going to prove paramount, because
I love that word.
I think Orrin Burks coming in, while there may be a drop-off talent-wise, what we know Orrin Burks can do is he can tackle. He's been a solid tackler when he's been in the game, and he's had to play for Dre Greenlaw. I think when we go beyond that, while, DFF is a fan favorite, he worries me a little bit in tackling, and he worries me a little bit in coverage. I think just Orrin Burks being a technically sound veteran gives me more confidence in him as a rotational piece, as somebody who may have to come in for an injury. I feel more confident when he's available versus when he's not. So I'm hoping that this knee tendonitis isn't too bad. It looks like you got down here, he may miss, a couple of weeks. It may not prove to be an issue versus the Cardinals, but, against the Ravens and then going into the playoffs, I would want to make sure that he's healthy in the event that we do need him to play.
I agree. When I look at the linebacker depth, you got D. Winters. Maybe, will they see something out of Jalen Graham this week in practice, the other rookie linebacker that they drafted in the 7th round? But it looks like DFF is going to get the nod to start as the other linebacker for the San Francisco 49ers. And, not to take a shot at him, but it's a step down. When it comes to it, and you saw it on football field. I know you saw it, Peachy saw it, and everybody else that watched it. When we watched Kenneth Walker should have been tackled for a loss and made the whole team miss. It's just that everybody missed. There was like 11 missed tackles out of the 14 missed tackles in this game on just that one play. It was ridiculous. And so, this could be a problem. So make sure you guys put the question mark around here. I'm hoping he has a great practice. I'm hoping he's able to be a force if he does get the green light to start against the Arizona Cardinals coming up. But it seems like Oren Burks is going to be out for a couple of weeks. Hopefully it's just a couple of weeks. Let's talk about Javon Hargrave, Peachy, who suffered a groin injury. Early reports came out today, said that Kyle Shanahan feared that he pulled his groin, and it could be something severe. And then later on, they got the reports from the doctors, and it seemed like, his hamstring. They got the reports from the doctors, and then, now it's coming down to the fact that he didn't pull his hamstring, and it's just, aggravated or whatnot.
Right.
So the 49ers may have Hargrave this weekend. But, Peachy, if they don't have Hargrave,
Right.
What are your thoughts? Like, what did you see from this game, without Armstead? Armstead's not going to be playing for probably the next couple of weeks as well. So just want to get your thoughts on that.
So, okay, first of all, in my opinion, I don't want him to play if he's not ready to go. There's no reason, like, if there's a chance that he could, like, risk, a worse injury than what he has. We definitely don't do that because, Kinlaw has been showing us quite a bit lately, which is really good. I think that Kinlaw is a good spot for him. And Kalia Davis, we've seen what he can do when he's out there, even if he has to switch, the side or whatever you guys call that.
The technique, yeah.
Yes.
Whether he's 3-1, yep.
Right. His tech, I think that he's going to be good. So I think that we have enough to be able to do that. We do have to do without Hargrave. Now, if he's able to go, of course, these guys mentally, if he's like, yeah, I'm going, that's one thing. But if you don't have to, I feel like that the reason why that this defense is so deep is because things like this happen, and everyone knows that through the season that you're going to have guys in and out. So then you prep all your guys to be able to start if they need to, and to fill in for the starters when they're out. So that's what I feel like that we would do in this case. And I feel like that the one thing that I didn't see yesterday, which is really crazy, is I didn't see a lot of pass rush yesterday. And I don't know if that was because, they weren't prepared. Just like you said, maybe they weren't prepared for Drew Lock. Maybe, I kind of threw them off or whatever. But, I didn't see a lot of, Chase Young. He was out there. But I didn't see, that. So I'm thinking that if we play the way that we did in Philly, because Kyler Murray is a mobile quarterback, and we play the way that we held down Jalen, there'll be more I think that it'll be the pass rush will be better. And I think even if we don't have Hargrave, if we have just Kinlaw and Kalia Davis and guys like that to kind of sub in for that will still be okay.
Yeah, the pass rush, 22 pressures in this game. They ended up the game, I think they finished the game with 4 sacks. It's not bad. Not bad at all.
It was Chase. I didn't see Chase involved in too much yesterday.
He was out there.
Yeah. That's what I meant.
With Chase, without Chase Young on that interception to
Right.
Fred Warner doesn't happen. So he
That's
was out
true.
there.
Yeah.
It's just when you got a quarterback that's getting the ball out quick,
Really fast.
it kind of negates the pass rush
Got
just
you.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what we saw from the defensive front, because I saw Nick Bosa line up over the center. I liked what I was seeing. I felt like they were experimenting a little bit, but I liked what
Right.
I was seeing, because now Nick Bosa had an opportunity to go inside opposed to staying to the outside, because they're trusting Randy Gregory, they're trusting Cleveland Farrell, they're trusting Chase Young, they're trusting these guys to still put pressure on there. And so that could be something that we see from a player or two going forward. But I thought the pass rush did. I thought they serviced very well. Nick Bosa still was a force. Chase Young was a force. The dude, his pass rushing grade was actually 81.4, and he did pass rush for about 23 snaps. He was out there. So,
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't play. Remember, Chase Young doesn't play the whole games like everybody else. Like, he's rotational.
I got
So I just want you to understand that. Like, Nick Bosa will get the rushes. Chase Young will get some rotation pieces.
Yeah.
And they're trying to keep guys fresh. Like you said, you like the depth. And that, to
Right.
me, is my concern, especially on the inside, because you talked about these guys got to be ready to go and start. But now the depth is depleting, because the depth that was coming in to relieve a Hargrave, to relieve a Eric Armstead, now Kinlaw becomes a starter.
Right.
And I'm happy, I think, with his production in this game, but it wasn't as effective. Like, you could tell Eric Armstead was missing, and it would be really cool if Kinlaw was still like a reliever from the starter. But if he has to start because Hargrave can't go, and then Kevin Givens is the guy that we kind of forget about. Kevin Givens, like, will he be the next up to start?
Yeah, I forgot about him too.
Don't think it would be Kalia Davis. Mose, what do you think about that? Like the defensive tackle rotation for the San Francisco 49ers.
And I'm assuming you're talking about with both Hargrave and Armstead out.
Yeah, like it'll be a little different. And now you're dealing with James Conner up the middle. You got Kyler Murray that you got to contain, which I don't think we see much pass rush, because you got to keep him in that pocket.
I mean, I think we see the three guys that we have. Javon Kinlaw has been playing lights out football in the reps that he has been given.
Exactly.
And it's great to see him healthy. So I think he's on the field more. And I think, and I'm sure some fans, the pessimistic side of us are saying, does increased snap count mean increased likelihood of him getting injured? And that's obviously something that we don't need. But I think we can see a steady rotation of Kinlaw, Givens, and Kalia Davis.
Okay.
I think they're going to rotate those guys, one for health purposes, two situationally. But then I can see us kicking Gregory, Cleveland Farrell. We saw Bosa on the inside against the Seahawks a few snaps. So I think they're going to get creative. I think, Kyle Shanahan is going to, put the onus on Chris Kocurek to find ways to get creative with that internal rotation and that inside pass rush. But I think we see more Kevin Givens. I think we see more Kalia Davis. And like I said, Javon Kinlaw has been playing lights out. So I think we see all three of those guys, plus a mix of some of the outside guys on the inside.
Just preparing for the worst. Let's say he can't go. All right. You told us that's how you want to see the mixed rotation. Are you calling up T.Y. McGill from the practice squad? Are you going to go look for another free agent to come in and fill a void for a game or two? Like, what are your thoughts on that, Peachy and Mose?
I'm picking up the phone and I'm making a call to T.Y. McGill to bring him up. Because we've already seen what he can do. We know what he's capable of. And bringing him up as a fourth option, I don't see anything wrong with that. So I'm definitely bringing T.Y. up.
And Peachy, if you could bring in a free agent, if there was a defensive tackle floating out there that's looking for a job on a contending team, a former a bad boy in the NFL, is there anybody that crosses your mind that you think the Niners might make a call to?
A former bad boy in the NFL out there.
Played for the Eagles last year.
You would definitely want to give him a call, but they wouldn't bring him in though.
Why not?
That would be awesome though. Because one thing that I will say about him is he is a competitor.
Listen.
Through the rest of this season.
All you could do is bring him in for a workout.
Just a couple of games left in the season. Goodness,
it doesn't seem like he's a bad guy anymore. I mean, hell, he was breaking up the Trent Williams choke slam. Like, listen, Trent, man, you ain't got to choke slam the young fella. Like, he was breaking that up. You know what I'm saying?
It seems like he's kind of reformed a little bit.
He's just old, right? So
right,
look,
old. Exactly. He's just been around for a long time.
He's just old. But listen, he could be a force, especially in the run stuffing game.
Oh yeah, that
just
would be
just to go
fantastic.
forward and to give some time, because you don't want the hammy to extend to something more severe.
Right, exactly.
So I
And
know
that's what
people
makes
saying,
me
I don't want
nervous.
Sue. I don't want Sue. I get it. I get it. But if he's available, he ain't going to cost much. And he can come in and stop the damn run on some rotational
Yeah.
snaps. I didn't say he had to start. But, man, he's a contender. Why not? Why not? Why not entertain it? Well,
There's guys that are just chilling out there that are gonna be looking for, that are sniffing the waters for these contenders. You got Zach Ertz out there who is still, trying to see kind of how things are gonna go to decide where he wants to sign, and all these things like that. So it's definitely gonna be there's definitely some players out there in all positions that are just kind of chilling, just trying to see kind of how this is gonna. And a lot of people know now that the 49ers are going to be in there. So, yeah, I think that would be a great idea with just a handful of games left this season.
Yeah. You got a dominant piece in Javon Hargrave.
Yes.
You want him as healthy as can be for your playoff run.
Yep.
Hammies are nothing to reckon with. Luckily,
Right.
the report says is not as severe. Let's talk about Mooney Ward before we jump off the injury train real quick. Now, he has a groin injury, and it was feared that he pulled his groin or tore his groin at some point, but the report came back saying that it's not as severe, and he's also listed day-to-day. Now, we did see him on the sideline trying to come back into the game. I thought running-wise, he looked good, but when he started walking, he was limping. So how likely, if Mooney gets through practice, how likely will he be out there on the football field on Sunday? Or is this another player that you are going to let rest?
I think that he needs to rest. Again, I don't feel like that we should be out here, especially at this time of the season when we're going into the playoffs and we know that we're going to be in the playoffs. There's no way that you should have these players that are that could hurt themselves worse. There's just there's no reason. I would definitely want him to rest. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you're down to Arizona. Is it a good matchup for him to play? They got quick receivers.
Right.
I think Floyd's on the IR. That would be their big body. Not Floyd. Wilson is on the IR. That would be their bigger receiver. I don't know. It's just weird. But if he's healthy, if he has a good practice, if he gets through practice, and like I said, they're listed day to day. We'll see what happens. You want Ward out there, or whatnot. But if Ward isn't able to go, the 49ers did sign a veteran to their practice squad. It's official. All right. So, y'all don't want Sue, but you bring him back. So, all right, here we go. So, they bring back Jason Verrett. Now, my question is, I'm so bad. Jason Verrett is back with the organization. He has been signed to the practice squad. Here's the question. Will he be sent to the active roster this week?
He might. He knows the system.
That's a good point.
So
Yeah, and
it's possible.
I think you got Ambry, you got Demo, you got Isaiah Oliver, you got Womack. Did Luter suit up yesterday?
No, Luter's out he was out last week.
Yeah.
He may be available this week. He was out for the week. He was injured.
So, I mean, you got injuries to Luter, you got injuries to Mooney. You call him up as your fifth corner and only play him in emergent situations?
Right. Just in case somebody gets hurt, yeah.
Because you figure you got Demo, you got Ambry on the outsides. You'll probably put Isaiah Oliver in the slot. I know you
not against the Cardinals.
So what you gonna put Womack in the slot over? And I know it's hard because Womack was playing good before he got hurt. He played well last year.
I just feel like he's not back to 100%, or
He's not 100%.
There's something with the trust factor there.
Yeah.
Because he was a ball. He had a knack for the football.
And also, Womack is not a Steve Wilkes guy.
Is he not? Oh, well, he wasn't here when. Right. I get. Wait, what do you mean?
It's a good point.
I don't think Womack is a Steve Wilkes guy. I don't think Womack fits what Steve Wilkes wants to do.
No. Steve Wilkes likes press guys. Womack might just be the best press man on this team. He's physical at the line of scrimmage, but
right,
there's a
but
reason why we don't
hasn't
see
been
him.
able to.
I just think it's
hasn't
something
been
to
able
do
to
with
crack
the
it.
depth. You see Ambry Thomas rising.
Right.
He just got to wait his turn.
So I feel like they were in the same area. And before Steve Wilkes got here, some people would say that Womack was pushing Ambry off this team.
And
But now
I thought so.
But now Ambry and his skill set is fitting well with what Wilkes wants to do. And I mean, maybe it's not fair to, compare them to because of the injuries that Womack has had. But at the same time, where Ambry's confidence level was, I feel like it was in the toilet. And he kind of battled and got himself out of the mud. And now he's contributing on a high level on the outside, and we're able to be multiple and move Demo around and do all these kind of things. I don't know. Something in my gut is telling me that Womack isn't a Wilkes guy.
I just feel like Womack has to earn his stripes back. Earn to be the Wilkes guy. If he's not the Wilkes guy, he has to earn it because listen, I love special teams. He's an ace. You've seen it in this game, like ace. And so, but he's getting his football moxie back, and he's depth. At this point, he's depth. When I look at Jason Verrett, barring the injuries, he's a number one. He's a cornerback. He's the lockdown cornerback in the NFL. If he could just figure out how to stay healthy, and he probably gonna cost the Niners a couple $1 million. I wouldn't be surprised if he has a great practice this week. Great practice. I wouldn't be surprised because if you put him and Ambry on the outsides and you put Lenore back on the inside. If Ward isn't good to go, if Ward is out, healthy scratch or whatever you want to call him, they want to let him rest. Why not? The risk is not a high risk at all. But if the reward is great, it's a low risk, high reward move. If you get a lockdown for one game, it's one game. Get him for one game. He could give us one game. Now, there is the possibility that what happened when he came to us in that Pittsburgh game a few years back could happen. But there's also a possibility where he can have the healthiest year when he was with the San Francisco 49ers, and he was the number one cornerback for this team. So we'll see. It all comes down to his practice. But them Cardinals got some speedy mother-freaking receivers. So, to me, I'm a little nervous on who's going to be there. I don't like the speed on Ambry Thomas. I like it's double moves. If we're talking matchups, it's double moves on Ambry. And I don't like it. I think he's going to get caught up. I just do. I think Mooney Ward struggled with double moves. This team, and this is where Womack can probably come in and show something if they give him the opportunity. Because I don't think he would struggle with double moves. He's really light fly, stick to the paper. And to me, Darrell Luter Jr. would be that way at some point if he gets healthy and gets his opportunity. So, a lot to break down, but just thought we'd throw that out there. Listen, they're listed day to day. That's the good news. All right. So they're not ruled out as of yet. Some news: Brock Purdy nominated for FedEx Air Player of the Week, and Christian McCaffrey was nominated for FedEx Ground Player of the Week. We got a lot of news to get through, so congratulations to those two. I hope that they win. Brandon Ayuk reached 1K. Deebo Samuel is the first wide receiver in NFL history to score a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown in back-to-back games. What an accomplishment, right? A lot of people, y'all still mad at Deebo? All right, Purdy.
I think also to add to that, I think he's number one for wide receivers with rushing touchdowns.
19, bro.
Yeah.
19. You know what's funny about that? I was watching the Bears game, and my guy gets his first rushing touchdown of the year, DJ Moore, and Deebo's on 19. Damn.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Guys, this is why Kyle Shanahan made sure that Deebo got the bag. Like, this is, like, we weren't seeing it. He had a bad season last year, injuries, all that stuff. I bet you people ain't crying now. I guarantee it. They're not crying now.
There was a great question that was asked during the presser about, like, the change, in Deebo's play and everything, like how it's completely, just off the charts. And he was talking about, because now he's playing for his family. Like, he's playing for his
he
son.
did say
he's
that.
Playing for whatever. And he has a lot more, you know what I'm saying? So he has more to play for. So he's just going to play lights out. And he's going to continue to play that way and just get better and better and better because, like he said, now he has something to play for. So that can make a difference, and you can just see it. You can see his determination every time he gets that football to do something with that football, even though, like the year before last, he had that, since he's been in the league and things like that. I understand all that, but you can just see the look in his face. Like he just tries to do something every single time, and it's so amazing. And he's so great being on special teams or whatever. That was another thing that they were talking about all over TV today, is the versatility is really shining through this year with Deebo, even more than it was before, as he, as what he's able to accomplish. So he's having a hell of a year, man. He really is.
He is. He's 271 yards away from a 1,000-yard receiver.
Yes.
And, the 49ers can possibly have 1,000-yard receivers, 1,000-yard tight end. They already have the running back. And Brock Purdy about to have well over 4,000 yards by the end of the season. All my predictions are coming right. This is so funny. Let's talk about Brock Purdy. Listen, Brock Purdy's 3 games away from breaking the great Patrick Mahomes record for most games with 100+ passer rating. I say 3 games away because it's 14 for Patrick Mahomes. Purdy's already at 12, and he's tied with a list. Let me tell you who he's tied with at 12 for those that don't understand what I'm talking about. Now, the passer rating is something serious out there in the NFL. Dan Marino, who's his idol. He's tied with Dan. God dang. And Kurt Warner. If he gets 100 passer rating in this next game against Arizona, he will surpass his idol and Kurt Warner. Brock Purdy's out there balling. And then he's the 4th quarterback in NFL history to get 70% completion percentage in 7 consecutive games. Brock is heating up. He still should be number 1 for the MVP race. And if things all go well for Brock, how can he not be MVP? What's the only way Brock Purdy shouldn't be MVP? Let me ask you guys that question, Peachy and then Mose.
This is easy, and I actually put this on Twitter because he don't wear that shitty ass star on his helmet. That's why he's not going to wind up getting it. If you listen to all the TV, they'll tell you, the Dallas Cowboys have been waiting to be able to do this, blah, blah, and all stuff for Dak. And the thing that cracks me up about it is when you watch, them actually just graze over the 49er game like it was nothing, and how Brock outplayed their MVP in that game. And then if you look at other games this season where it's just been different, it really just irks me so bad. That's all it is. They have been dying to be able to do this for Jerry Jones, and he's probably going to win. But to me, that's the only reason why. Because Brock his stats are better than Dak. There's only what were we talking about this morning, Breezy? The touchdowns. He's 3 touchdowns behind him and whatever. And then in Brock's defense, somebody brought up a really good point. Dak has thrown the football a lot more because of their running game, because they don't really have one. Brock doesn't have to throw that much. So the fact that Brock is only 3 touchdowns behind Dak, who throws the ball like all the time at an alarming rate because he has to, just is ridiculous that you would literally say with a straight face that he's your unquestionable, MVP. So,
All right, Mose, what would be the argument for Brock to not win MVP? I know he's not playing to be MVP of the league, but when he's going out there just being Brock Purdy, he's putting up MVP stats week in and week out. So how can this young gentleman in his second year in the NFL, former Mr. Irrelevant, find a way to win that MVP award if all else fails and it comes down to it?
Sorry, that's my 2-year-old.
That's fine.
I think the only way he doesn't win it is if for whatever reason the 49ers don't get the number 1 seed. I think if we stay where we at and we lock up the number 1 seed, like as of right now this is before Tua's played. So I think Tua probably will surpass everybody and jump to number 1. But then that still leaves Brock Purdy at 3. Like right now, he's number 2 in yards. So he's got more yards than Dak. He's got more yards than Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Trevor Lawrence, Jalen Hurts. The list goes on. I think his team's record, the numbers that he's put up. And what I love is I've been listening to a lot of other people. I love what Louis Riddick said. And Breezie, I sent this to you. I think that the complaint is people don't understand how somebody who was drafted in the 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, the last pick, the very last pick of the draft, could be doing so well, and they point to his weapons. Oh, he has a great coach. Oh, he has all these weapons. He has Deebo, and he has McCaffrey, he has Kittle, and da-da-da-da. But he mentioned 2 quarterbacks that are in the Hall of Fame and that people loved, but they gave the quarterbacks all the shine. He mentioned Kurt Warner. Do y'all remember Kurt Warner's team?
The greatest show
had
on
a
turf.
damn nickname.
right, exactly.
The greatest show,
Greatest
on,
show on
turf.
turf.
The old turf too. The turf.
Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt,
Marshall Faulk.
Hakeem, Marshall Faulk.
All of them.
They had a nickname. Then he talked about Peyton Manning. Who did Peyton Manning have?
Oh,
Marvin Harrison, Reggie Wayne, Edrin James,
Dallas Clark, Edrin James, all Hall of Fame. Like, what are we talking about? Like, so yes, he's playing good because he has weapons. Well, the weapons make the quarterback great, but guess what? The quarterback still got to get him the ball. Who was drafted in the same draft as Peyton Manning? Ryan Leaf.
He went
and who
one,
was supposed to
didn't
be great, who was supposed to be better, didn't live up to those expectations. So, like, at some point, everybody got to give Brock his credit. Yes, he has the weapons, but he's still making things happen. They talk about his air yards. Oh, he plays with a team that gets a lot of yak. Well, they talked about that as well.
So did Joe Montana.
In 2 of Mahomes' MVP years, 54 and 51% of his yardage were yak. Where's Brock Purdy at right now? Like 48, 49%. So less than half of his total yardage are coming from yak, which means he's getting the ball downfield.
Yeah.
And what have we always said? One of the things that Jimmy Garoppolo couldn't do, and hate to bring his name up,
to take
and
the top
sully
off
his
the
name,
defense mode.
but he could not stretch the field.
Right.
So Brock Purdy's coming in. He's stretching the field. He's playing accurately. He's not turning the ball over. Yes, he had a pick yesterday. Miscommunication between him and Ayuk. That's all good. Kyle went with Ayuk, and the looks of it, looks like Ayuk ran the wrong route. Purdy expected him to be somewhere, and so did Kyle. He wasn't there. They had a conversation. They fixed it. But other than that, he's playing well. He's throwing the ball accurately. He's spreading it around, getting it to his guys. Like, the only way he should not be MVP is if, for whatever reason, Philly finds a way or Dallas finds a way to claim the number 1 seed, which means we would have to lose. And if we lose, more than likely Brock has a bad game in that loss. That's the only way I could see it.
Yeah, and if he doesn't get it, I'm cool as long as he continues to be himself and excel in the games that he's excelling in. Here's what I'm learning from Brock Purdy. So, like, and nobody's talking about his ability to process, like, after the fact, not during the fact. During the fact is really good, but like after the fact, when he's like, he mentioned a play where he saw the safety's feet.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
And that alluded him to throw the ball because the feet of the safety bit. This mother freak is looking at the toes.
Yep.
And so, how you looking down? Well, because the snaps do be low. Sorry, Tabor. But, sorry, Jake. But I'll be like, yo, he's looking at the toes. Like, that's letting me know that he understands football. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like, he understands it.
Because if you don't understand it like that, you don't process that quickly.
That's what I'm saying. Right. So when you say that he's taking these throws down the field, it's because he's making – the reason why the throws look so easy is because he's making them – the defense do stuff that they shouldn't be doing, and voila, it's man down the field. You see the single high safety, he's going down the field. Good luck. You ain't catch – his man, Brock trusts every one of his playmakers. He talked about it. He said on every play, we could score a touchdown. Because every person on this team has the ability to get into the end zone. On every play, Brock. Every play, Brock.
Yep.
And so, like, and I'm sure everybody says that, but I know I know they don't believe that. Brock actually believes it, and I know.
Does. When he said it, he meant every word of it.
You can see it. You can see him. You can see how frustrated he gets when he makes a bad throw. And let's talk about his throws when it's not. He knows that it's the wrong throw. He had a bad throw to Deebo in this game because it was behind him. But I'm wondering if he did that to not get Deebo hurt. Because there was the defender right there that was gonna crack Deebo if he caught that pass, and so he lived to the next play. And I think Brock.
And was that the one where like Deebo kind of turned around real quick?
Yeah, real quick.
And it looked like he got frustrated, but then I think he realized
that he was about to get the black knocked off of him.
Yeah.
But that's processing. That's me,
bro. I would rather throw this away and not get you killed and live to the next down.
We've seen that before.
Than to try to force you the ball and hope you can make something happen when I know this guy as a beeline to you. He's coming full speed and there really ain't nothing you can do. I'm going to just hope that you can make him miss.
We've seen that before.
I'm not going to put you in that situation to get hurt. I'd rather live for the next play to get a better play and to be able to put you in a position to make a play without having to go through all of that to do it.
100%. Miss Cynthia in the building with the super chat contribution says, just showing some love, y'all. We truly appreciate that. Listen, Miss Sin, when I say he was looking at the toes, he was looking at the toes. That alluded him to that. It meant that the safety bit and he can get the ball over his head. Like, that's what that meant in our language. So I'm just like, dang. Like, there's something different about the kid. Like, he understands quarterbacking. And then he has the ability to actually do it. What was the main thing we were worried about this season when Brock came back into football? Will he have arm strength? Is the injury going to hinder him? Is he going to? He's defying all of that. All of it. How do we know? How many 20-yard plus passes he got down the field? How many 30-yard plus passes he got down? Like, this dude is winging and slinging the ball.
Yeah.
And accurately.
While people are talking about yak, I can't even think of how much yak that he had yesterday because most of, like, if not all of the touchdowns that he threw, I mean, the receiver was downfield, like they were long downfield throws, like maybe 10 yards at best.
It wasn't a yak game. I can tell you why.
It definitely was not a yak game yesterday. That's for sure.
And the reason why is because they were playing two high safeties, and so that means that middle of the field was being taken away. So every time in the beginning of the game, because I see Chrissy said that Kittle got rocked. Yup. Sure did.
Okay, that was bad.
But
Scary.
it was the way that they were playing. Deebo got cracked on one too. It was the way that they were playing the safeties in the middle of the field. It was like, hey man, you torched us in the middle of the field in the first game. It ain't gonna happen in this game. The injury to Devon Witherspoon was huge, just like the injury to Mooney Ward was huge. And it then allowed the 49ers and Brock Purdy and the offense to open up and stretch the field.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like he adjusted from by the way the defenses were playing. And that's when I'm starting to notice from Brock Purdy, he's making these small, slight mental adjustments in the game. And to me, that quick processing of his, those adjustments of his is allowing him to supersede a lot of the stuff that we've seen where we just fail. Even if Brock Purdy went and threw three straight incomplete passes and then came out and still finished the game with a 70.4% completion percentage, 19 for 27. He didn't even throw the ball 19 for 27 and 122.1 passer rating with 2 touchdowns, and should have had another one, but Ayuk fumbled the ball. I thought Ayuk was going to the house on that play as well. So like, the Niners are in great hands with the quarterback like Brock Purdy. We won't have the elite conversation today, but y'all let me know when y'all ready to have the elite conversation, because we got to have it. And I get it. He ain't won a big game yet. Fine, no problem. But I think we all owe our definitions of what elite is. And so that way, if Moses is explaining why he's a leader.
What we considering a big game? Or you talking about he hasn't won the big game? The big game.
Did I say A or the? I meant the.
A.
Not my fault. Because if that's the case, there's only one elite quarterback playing in the NFL.
Only one.
Only one. If that's our definition, that's what I'm saying. But what we getting from Brock?
Because even then, like Russell Wilson is still playing. Is he still elite?
That's a good question.
And he's got a Super Bowl win.
That's a good question.
Like what? And this is, I think this is one of the things that frustrates me a lot about this conversation is the goalpost is always moved. They're always moving the goalpost of what's elite and what's not elite. Like by all stretch of the imagination, Patrick Mahomes is not having
an elite season.
But he's always going to get that elite title because he has 2 Super Bowls. But like throughout in an NFL lifespan or a player's career, there's good years and there's bad years. You have up years, you have down years. So like Patrick Mahomes is still elite because what he was able to do is just this year he's not having one of those up years. But as far as what a quarterback is being asked to do, the statistical categories that Brock is leading, and the fact that his team is 10-3, like it's hard for me to listen to people argue that he's not elite. It's really difficult because like the argument, like you said, you'll bring up, his weapons. All right, well, Peyton Manning and Kurt Warner and Joe Montana and Steve Young. Like Steve Young had
the weapons.
Garrison Hurst,
all the
Jerry
weapons.
Rice, Terrell Owens, JJ Stokes. Like there's a bunch of quarterbacks we can talk about. Like who did Aaron Rodgers have when he won his Super Bowl?
Oh, Lord. He was stacked.
That was stacked.
I like watching James Jones on what's that show?
Speak. Did you watch it today?
No,
it was hilarious today.
I missed it. I will watch it, but I like watching him on Speak, and I feel like they need to let him speak more too, because he a chip winner on that show. Like real talk. Like, and then when they were talking about certain stats, he it's like they didn't know. They were asking Shady what was his greatest game, like, whatever, and he had to mention his greatest game, which was superior. Like, I know what Shady did in the snow was probably one of the greatest things we ever witnessed. But James Jones was that dude. I don't think he gets enough. Yeah. I don't know who he was overshadowed by. I think it was Aaron Rodgers' team at that. Like, I don't know. Like,
right, but he was with
who was the
Greg
other receiver?
Jennings or
Greg
Donald
Jennings.
Driver?
That's why it had to be Greg Jennings.
Greg Jennings was the one.
He was the one.
And then after Greg Jennings, James Jones was always the secondary because then it was Jordy Nelson.
You know who reminded me? You know who James Jones was? Who was our former wide receiver for the 49ers. He came in. I can't think of his name, and I'm sorry. Emmanuel Sanders. Like, they, to me, are in that same category. They were always the supplemental or
Right.
the side piece that you can still get some good out of. Like, you know, like that's who they were. They were problems for their teams. I'm sorry. It is what it is. John Taylor, side piece. Like, but could have been a number one if he was anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's talk about some of the strengths and weaknesses in this game, because we got to look forward to the game coming up. We got another Birds, and we're actually traveling to Arizona. And so let's go with some of the strengths. Peachy, you can give me a strength. Mose, you can give me a strength. What you saw from this 49ers team. And then we'll go back around and we could do the weaknesses in reverse order. And then we'll go ahead and kind of like give a quick preview to this Arizona Cardinals matchup.
So I would say that a strength that I saw in this game was just like the run game. Like it's still strong. It doesn't matter. Teams try to come up with ways to try to stop the run and all this other stuff, and we just continue to just take care of business when it comes to the run game with Christian McCaffrey. And then yesterday, of course, we had Mason that stepped in because Mitchell was out. But yeah, I mean, just that 1-2 punch with just McCaffrey and Mason was a great asset to have yesterday. You just keep running the football.
Keep running the ball. Shout out to Jordan Mason getting that touchdown. I don't know if y'all heard, Christian McCaffrey was tight.
Yeah, he was.
Tight, bro.
Was really
tight like Sassoon jeans, dog.
Ooh,
like he was tight.
Bad.
They took him
say?
out. Yo, they was like, yo, man. So like, did you like congratulate Jordan Mason on the touchdown? He was like, yeah. He was like, you know, when you get the ball, you rush for 72 yards,
Right.
you know, down there, you just got to find a way to get in. Because if not, they're going to take you out. He was tight. He was tight. I was like, oh, he tight.
He wanted that touchdown bad. But it's like you said earlier on, I believe it was on the WayneBreezie. You had like 1,000 shows today, so I don't know which one it was on. But anyway, one of the shows that you was on where you were talking about that fire and that competitiveness.
I love the passion.
Love
man.
it.
I love the passion. And
all
then I
these
love
guys are passionate. Like they all want the football. Like they all want to score.
That's
They
what
all
makes them
want
dangerous,
to-
PG.
Yeah.
That's what makes them so
They
dangerous.
all want to. And when you have a whole entire mentality like that everyone wants to score at any time, like they want to put points on the board.
That's what makes them dangerous.
And it was awesome. Yep.
That's a dope strength. The run game. Mose, what do you got?
I'm going to show love to the defensive side of the ball as a strength. And I'm going to show love to the secondary.
Oh.
The way we've been playing, you know, battling injuries, battling depth issues, you know, losing Huff for the year, but Jair Brown steps in. Great interception that he had yesterday, you know, seeing it, reading it, making sure that he was in the right spot, going up and attacking the ball at its highest point, making sure that DK couldn't do that. And if it wasn't for Nick Bosa jumping off sides, Ambry Thomas would have had one. And he played that inside shade.
Was that Thomas? I think that was Lenore.
Was it Demo? I thought
That was
it was
Demo. Nah, I think
Either
that was
way,
they had a pick.
Whoever played it well, inside shade, hip to hip, turned around, and got the pick because they were understanding that Drew Lock was trying to get the ball out fast. I think as
like
the
this
season
name.
has gone on, the secondary is really starting to buy into everything that Steve Wilkes is selling. Obviously, it helps that, you know, our front is getting more pressure and we're getting after the quarterback. But they are doing their part as well because a lot of those sacks against the Eagles and Jalen Hurts were covered sacks. So, you know, we're not going to give 100% credit to the defensive line. You know, those boys on the back end are really playing good. That's why, you know, it's tough to see Mooney go down. It's tough to see Luter go down because, you know, we need those guys to be at 100% when we get to the playoffs. We might have to see the Eagles again. We might have to see the Cowboys again, you know, teams that are going to want to try to air it out. But I think this secondary is really, really finding its groove right now. So I'm gonna list them as my strength.
I like that, man. Shout out to my man Snoopy Cortez. He says, shout out to the ATC, air traffic control. Like, and this is why they brought in Steve Wilkes, ladies and gentlemen. And now you're starting to really see, like, after, from week 1 to week freaking 15, which we're about to enter, you'll see what his presence, why he needed to be here. He was able to get this young secondary. They're still number 1 in interceptions in the league, right? And so, like, he was able to get this secondary where they needed to be. That's his expertise. They gave him an extra piece on the pass rush. You let them guys go ahead and do what they do. He can focus on them young boys back there in that secondary, and I love it. If I had to go with a strength, I'm going to go with the special teams. And, I just feel like from the punting to the kicking, even though we didn't have any field goal attempts in this game, Jake Moody is still consistently kicking the ball through the upright. So that's a plus for him. Let's talk about Mitch Wisnowski because, I'm not going to get mad at Ronnie Bell for that particular penalty call for slipping and they initiating the contact. I'm not going to get mad. The refs called it. It was on us. But when you want to talk about a heads up play on, I didn't think it was a bad punt. It just seemed like the blocking, I don't know what it was, but he saw people deep and he said, I'm out. Shout out to Mitch Wisnowski being on that good training diet because he was out. What did he get, 15 on that joint? Like, and he was already 15 behind, so he got 30 technically.
Yes.
Which I forget he played rugby, right?
I know, but he was bigger than, bro. He on a good slim diet right now, bro. He don't even
a little bit faster.
He quicker, faster. So listen, I should have counted. It didn't count due to the penalty by the rookie Ronnie Bell. Dude slipped down trying to make a block, and they said that he blocked low on when he slipped down and hit the ground. It's unfortunate, but you talked about the Diamador Lenore interception that would have counted if Nick didn't jump off sides. Penalties, if I'm going to go with my weakness, since we're going in reverse order, it's penalties for me. It's always going to be penalties. We can have 55 missed tackles in a game, but somehow that one penalty will mess us up, and so it's penalties, man. And it's coming from the vets, Trent Williams, Nick Bosa, you had one negated by Aaron Banks. You had 8 penalties in total, only 5 counted in this game. And it was only for about, 50, not even 30 yards, just 30 yards. But still, it's when they happen, fourth downs and things like that. You had the one on Diamador Lenore that gave him a first down for illegal contact. And it's just little things, man, but they got to find a way, to me, in my opinion, which would probably be in my keys to victory. They got to find a way to be disciplined. Mose, you talk about the beginning of the show, the Niners are winning games and they ain't playing their best football. That's scary. That's crazy because they got to figure out the penalties. Mose and then Peachy.
You kind of took what I was going to say at the tail end of what you just said, but to kind of piggyback just on it a little bit more, it is the undisciplined nature that we play with at times. We are not completely undisciplined because we're putting up 30 points, we're blowing teams out, we're 10-3, but I think the consistency at which undisciplined football shows up for this team, it's a little too high for me. So I think if we can be more disciplined and be consistent in the disciplined way we go about our business, I think that limits the penalties. I think that limits the little minor mistakes. Listen, I know everybody's is a grown man and there's a certain level of, respect that is given and then that is required. But we've had 2 weeks in a row where players have got ejected for little scuffles on the field. And we know come playoff time, it's going to get a little chippy. Teams are fighting for their season, because if they don't win, it's bye-bye. So I think being disciplined and not putting ourselves in a position to where we're behind the sticks, we're giving up, yardage, putting teams in easy scoring position. And we're keeping our horses in the race and not getting kicked out of the game. So for me, one of the weaknesses is inconsistency at which we display discipline.
All right. And PG, any weaknesses to you in this particular game?
Lord, everybody knows what my weakness is in this game. My pet peeve, tackling. Come on.
Yeah.
They have got to start rapping and tackling. They just have to. Like, you can't let these guys just do that. Seattle was all crunk because, they were able to get these big first down and stuff. All because just tackling.
Yeah.
There was a couple of egregious missed tackles, which is uncalled for. It really was. So that goes in line with what you and Mose are talking about as far as the discipline and, everything like that. Like, you have to pay attention to your assignment. And for God's sake, just tackle these players. You can't miss that much. You had the one from, I think it was Charbonnet. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that looked like they had
that was a good move though.
Syrup on their arms or something.
Yo,
they could not get it.
The initial move by Charbonnet on that was Christian McCaffrey-esque. Say, wait a minute. You ain't do that at Michigan. You ain't do that at UCLA. You ain't do that the first week we played you. You know what I think it was? Kenneth Walker III. I think Charbonnet was trying to show him up. Charbonnet was the better running back in that game.
No, he definitely was.
But after that move, Peachy, you right. They missed him like they couldn't tackle him. 14 total missed tackles in this game. I think that ties the season high for the San Francisco 49ers in missed tackles. Listen, Randy Gregory had 3 missed tackles. 3.
Bosa
Two.
had
Two.
Drew Lock.
2. Everybody had 2.
For a sack. He got out of there.
Like, how
Kenneth
you missing
Walker
sacks?
had one. I think it was either in the third or the fourth quarter.
Bro, I
had him dead to rights. He got out of it. Reverse field, went all the way to the other side.
That's the one I was talking about. That's they have 14 missed tackles.
Crazy. And
they must have missed 10 on that Kenneth Walker play and had 4 because I think Gip had the first missed tackle on one of them receivers. He just missed him. I don't know.
And I'm gonna go back to last week.
Lockett caught that.
Yes, Tyler Lockett. Yep.
I'm gonna go back to last week against Philly, where we had him in a 3rd and 19, and we could not tackle Devontae Smith when he caught that pass up the seam and got a first down. He got 21 yards on 3rd and 19. On a pass that's thrown short of the sticks, he was able to break enough tackles to get the yards he needed on 3rd and 19 to get a first down. So
yeah, that was bad.
Peachy, you're absolutely right. We have to tackle better. We cannot tie our season high and have 14 missed tackles. We cannot have double-digit missed tackles for a defense.
Not from the number 1 defense in the league.
That's
How
right.
you number 1? Wait, here's the thing.
And not in week 14 either.
But here's the bright side. The bright side is they have 14 missed tackles, and they still only gave up 16 points.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the bright side. And the only reason why I'm saying that, I felt like I just hit a Stephen A. Smith note. The only reason why I'm saying that is because they still have the number 1 scoring defense in the league. They only gave up 16 points.
That has the proclivity.
I got SAT words. Okay.
And subjugate the offense that is playing against and render them incomparable.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, they averaged giving up 15.8 points a game, right? They were number 2. They were number 2. They were number 2. You know what's number 1? The Ravens at 15.6. They just gave up 38 He gave 31 points to the Rams. I'm looking at the number one scoring defense in the league, but they still got to tackle, like Peachy said, because if you don't tackle, that's fundamentals. That's just rap and tackle. Stop the big hits, please. Stop the big hits.
Needs the guys being like so.
Get rid of the hit stick, please. No more hit stick from Madden. Just rap and tackle, please. Mose must have seen something he liked. All right, real quick.
I didn't know Fred Warner was 4th in the league in interceptions.
4th in the league in interceptions, ladies and gentlemen. Linebacker. Safety. Fred Warner's a safe backer. That's what I'm just going to call him.
Right.
Safe
I
backer.
like that.
Safe backer. Safe backer.
Backer.
He's a natural safety, and he's converted to linebacker. That's Fred Warner.
Safe backer.
Safe backer.
Breezie done created a new position.
But no, seriously. No, because that's what the NFL...
What were they calling Deebo last year?
Wide back.
A wide back, so he's a.
So he can be a safe back.
We got all the hybrids. We got a wide back and a safe backer.
Yep, we bought them backs. All right, let's just take a quick peek.
Wait, whoa.
Pause about the Arizona Cardinals. Okay, now
where's Fair?
He in the chat, and I hope he didn't hear that. Now look, the Arizona Cardinals. Shout out to Fair. Are a division rival. Which means we're going into their home territory. I think we're what 14 point favorites as of right now.
14, yeah.
Ooh. Jesus, and I don't like the Kyler Murray matchup. It's not just me then.
No.
I told Mike earlier that I was nervous, and I'm never nervous.
I mean, yeah.
I'm never nervous.
So you thinking this could be one of those trap games?
Why though? Why do you put the fucking trap?
They punished us too, because they literally punished us with 2 mobile quarterbacks back to back.
3, Peach. We got freaking.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Lamar Jackson next week.
3 mobile quarterbacks.
That's nuts.
Like, wow.
I'm a little nervous because if we don't have our number one defense out there, which has been good at stopping mobile quarterbacks. They've been making mobile quarterbacks immobile, right?
That's right.
They've not allowed them to run. Jalen Hurts, I do want to explain, is totally different than Kyler Murray, though. Jalen Hurts is Josh Allen-esque, and Kyler Murray is like a mixture of Russell Wilson and I don't know who else. But that's the difference. Little midget, running around in the pocket. Speed.
Fast once he gets out. Like
Mighty Mouse.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so I'm a little nervous. I don't want to be nervous, but that's my only concern going into this game. You guys got any concerns going into this game other than Kyler Murray? Is there anybody else that you feel like the Niners definitely need to zero in on? They are kind of built off speed. I will say that, especially on the offensive side.
Definitely. They definitely are.
They called him Ant-Man.
Which I think is... Which That's is another reason why that I'm such a stickler on tackling. Because you cannot allow Kyler to be slippery and just miss these tackles. Like, you have to get this dude. Like,
somebody tell Bo, this is my man Bo, somebody tell him, I believe you, but they different.
They're definitely different.
I want you to believe me. They a little different. And Arizona ain't got nothing to play for. Which makes me feel like they're going to come and try to ball out.
Yeah, they're just going to play free, kind of like Zach Wilson did yesterday. He don't have nothing to play for. So when you have a team with nothing to lose, I mean, those are usually the most dangerous teams because you never know what's going to happen, especially if the coach is like, just go out there and play. Just play backyard football, whatever. Kyler, with us already missing people on defense, I feel like that he can literally help tire this defense out quick. I mean, we just gotta stay on him, and that's a challenge with that dude. People got to remember the first time we played this, we didn't have Kyler, so now they got Kyler, and it's definitely a whole different animal when it comes to Kyler. Like he can be sneaky, really sneaky.
Mose, take on the Arizona Cardinals game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to disrespect an NFL team, but I think I'm just gonna stay there as well and just piggyback a little bit more. I think one of the differences, when we're talking about the difference between Jalen Hurts and Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts plays within the offense that is called, primarily because Jalen Hurts has better weapons. So in the game that they played against us, they were trying to get to the ball into the hands of those weapons, allow them to create after the catch, to then eventually hopefully open up the downfield throw. Where I think, whether Mooney plays or not, if our corners are playing sticky coverage, Kyler's going to escape and going to run. He's not going to hold the ball and wait for somebody to come open and then, allow those coverage sacks to happen.
With you.
You got about 4 or 5 seconds as a wide receiver with Kyler Murray to get open. If not, he's gone.
Out.
So again, we talked about tackling, but then we also talked about discipline. And if our edge rushers are not disciplined and going too far upfield, and we're also not able to get that interior pressure, minus Javon Hargrave, minus Eric Armstead, then that's when Kyler can become highly effective running the football. Now, as long as he's not able to turn those into touchdowns, he may be able to get some big plays, create some explosives. But usually in the red zone, our defense, tightens up. So, we would have to hope if he does have a game like that we can force that offense to kick 3 instead of punching it in the end zone. But I think that Kyler's selfishness opens them up to some offensive success with him running the ball. We just have to be disciplined and read our keys and be in our gaps and not rush too far upfield.
I agree 100%, man. Just a couple of things just to pay attention to, when you start talking about, we start breaking down the matchups throughout our weekly shows about this team, man. Kyler Murray, he hasn't been playing great, but I do know he's playing the 49ers, and he's going to attempt to do things off script, okay? Off script. Because the Niners are going to throw him off script. And they have to be disciplined, like Mo said, in containing the edges. Dave Bewell says they need to get at Lamar, and he's talking about the Ravens game, and knock down the number of RPO packages coming out there. And then I'm more one-dimensional, so to speak, and his numbers aren't even really good. I agree with this, actually. So to your point, did we get better attack on, because if we're missing tackles, yes, on Lamar, turn into touchdowns, and we can't do that. But I think we'll be good there. I'm more worried about the Rams game. Really, I think that might be the Rams have to win that game, and then they're back and running. Like that might be their playoff entry to that 7th seed or 6th seed if they continue to play well. They did lose to the Ravens, but he's right, and this is why Peachy brought up the missed tackles, but they're not missing the tackles necessarily. Sacks. They're missing sacks on the quarterback. I'm more concerned of missing tackles when the quarterback throws a pass and you don't wrap and tackle and bring the receiver down, or the running back you're trying to arm tackle opposed to straight up just tackle. You're taking poor angles and things like that. And, I'm more concerned with those. If you miss the sack, okay. I don't think that the 49ers will allow a rushing touchdown from a QB like that right up the middle, maybe on the goal line, but I think they'll have that pretty contained. When you're looking at Kyler Murray, though, because of his size, because of his escapability, he's not just, I'm going to pull the ball down. Now, you will see quarterback draws. He'll hike that ball, see that linebacker deep, and take off and run. So you will get that from Kyler Murray. And you got to remember, he's a veteran. He's not a young cat. Well, yeah. He's been in the league for a few years, and he's played this team a few times.
Plenty of times.
And they're coming off of a bye. And they got James Conner. They're gonna and remember the last time we played, him and Huff got into a fight. Or got into a scuffle. Yeah. So yeah. I'm not necessarily worried about the Rams, but at the end of the day, I think the San Francisco 49ers need to figure out how to take care of business on the road. All right, listen, we got our winner for the nitty gritty. score prediction. Let me go ahead and get his name out here. His name is, why do I feel like I read that name last week too? Let me see if it's still in here. Hold on. He won twice in a row. Well, I bet you by golly, wow. My man Tony Bartley is the winner. Congratulations to Tony Bartley. 28-16 was his score prediction, I think.
Nice.
Did he actually get it on the head?
He
Wow.
got it 100%.
No,
right.
he put 31-17. So he was close,
And that
though.
was the closest.
That was the closest.
I was about to say.
Woo.
If he
I was
getting
about
a
to
score
say.
like that, brother, can I give him some Powerball numbers?
That's what I'm
That's what
saying.
I'm saying. We need to be having a chat.
So, Tony,
you making the wrong predictions, Tony.
Tony, you won back-to-back weeks, dog. I'm gonna need you to get on the Mo's, the Pigskin Pick Show, help me catch up, because Mo's, I think, whipped my ass this week. Like, it's just, I don't get it. Like, every time, and my teams be winning, and then at the last 1 second they lose. I just don't get it. I don't be understanding. It is what it is, guys. Go ahead, Peachy.
One thing that I was going to add to that is, you guys do know, because we have been in this position before, when we were the 1 seed, you're going to get everyone's best shot for the rest of the season to try to knock us out of that 1 seed.
Yep.
And they don't care about whatever. Like I said, especially when you have a team like the Cardinals that have nothing to play for. Like, it doesn't matter. But to ruin our day. And that's their whole point of going out there, is just to do everything they can to try to ruin our 1 seed. And so you also got to keep that in mind. And the 49ers have been in this position before, and they have great coaches and plenty of vets around all these guys. And they're definitely going to let them know, keep your cool. Don't be, because they're going to try to do everything they possibly can. But the 49ers got this. And right now it's looking really promising, regardless of who's out there, whoever plays on defense. We still have enough defense to be able to do it. So.
Yeah, 49ers just need to travel, show up like they normally do.
Right.
And they should be good to go. Ladies and gentlemen, we out, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in to the Nitty Gritty Niners Talk Show on behalf of our brother Fair, who should be back soon. All right. Mose, Peachy, myself, we truly appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you to all the Super Chat contributions. Don't forget to like this joint on both channels. It's on Mose Knows channel as well. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel if you're not already subscribed to Mose's channel. Make sure if you're new to watching this stream, you subscribe right here as well. Feel free to join the Breezy Bunch crew. All right, and let's have some fun, man. We got a week worth. It's Cardinals week officially. After tonight, let's have some fun. We're going to beat these birds, man. I call them the Angry Birds because that's how they're going to try to play the 49ers on this Sunday. All right? We'll see y'all back next Monday. We love y'all. Stay up, stay faithful, and always keep it nitty gritty, y'all. We out. Peace. Hey.
Breezy, gritty, this that Niners Mose knows.
Peace. Wait a minute. There is a couple of Super Chat contributions that I kindly forgot. We got one from Jax Knox. I wonder, do people think that he's elite now? Talking about Brock Purdy. I remember that conversation. To each their own. I think he's elite. I think Mose said he thinks he's elite. Peachy, do you think he's elite?
Yes, and I already said that.
Okay. All right. And so then you got Sean Shepard with the Super Chat contribution. Sean, you didn't show up at the end of the show this time, and that's why I forgot. But hi. Hi, Sean.
Hi, Sean.
And
Hi.
I'm surprised that's all he said.
I wonder if that's what that means.
I wonder whether Sean's still mad at us. I think he might be a little.
Mad at us?
He ain't mad at me. I just talked to him the other day.
Just a little bit.
Now listen, guys.
Why would he be mad?
I don't know. I don't know what Peachy's talking about. Okay. So on Facebook, guys, if you're going to join the Facebook group, you have to answer the questions. Okay, you have to answer the questions. Answer the questions. They're 49er related questions. If you answer the questions, Miss Debbie will let you in the group. If not, she's going to think you're spam. So answer the questions, join the group, and happy posting. All right. And then Sean comes back with the Super Chat contribution.
There it is. There it is. Did he spam?
All right, he's not mad no more.
He says,
First of all, I ended the show.
you see Mitch running like he was dropped off in West Oakland and showed a wallet full of cash at a liquor store.
That's how I say. I call it the PK.
Shee. That white boy can't. I'm done.
That
I'm
white
done.
boy can run.
That's what he was really saying. Yeah, WHY. The funniest part of, and I don't know if this is insensitive to people, culture or whatever, but when Trent Williams called him the Australian, like
Loved it. That was hilarious.
that's the I'm like, yo, Aussie, Australia, whatever. I hope they're not offended by
He
Trent.
kept saying it too. That's what was hilarious.
I don't think he knew. Trent ain't Trent from Texas. I don't think he knew.
Oh goodness.
I'm just saying. I don't think he knew. But guys, thank y'all so much. Sean, you are the one. You are the one. We appreciate you. Don't do it again. All right, man. We love y'all. Stay up, stay faithful. We out, y'all. Peace.
Hey,
Breezy, gritty, this that 9 to
Mo's
5.
nose. Peachy,
Gritty,
fair
this
to
that 9 to
dog. It's about that time. Everybody turn your TVs on. The Mo's nose, Peachy, Breezy, and fair to God. They keep it nitty gritty when they bring you 9 to talk. We two gorilla, silverback, nah, silver
You know it's
horse.
busting good discussion cause we get it in. Every time you know we grinding, I was 8 to 10. We always play to win. The faithful going hard. It's WayneBreezie, Peachy, Mo's nose, and fear to God. Let's get it.
Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. We outline players up in chalk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Don't like it, better take a walk. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall. Nitty gritty, this the line is tall.